Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. In today's video, I'm going to do a review of my brand new Tomahawk Stump bucket that I just got actually this morning. Like 6:13 this morning, tractor trailer showed up and dropped this off. So I figure I haven't been able to find a ton of information online about this bucket. So I figured I'd go over a few things with it as far as dimensions, and then I'm going to get it uncrated and get it on the tractor and go try to pry a couple trees out of the ground, see what we think. So recently I've been doing some searching around trying to find the best deal, what ever made the most financial sense, at least, for a stump bucket. It's something I've been wanting for a little while. The land we have here, unfortunately out back, has a ton of, I don't know, guys call it buck brush or whatever, but and it's a little bit too big to brush hog, at least for my LX6 John Deere, you know, kind of lighter duty brush hog. So I figured, you know, a stump bucket might be a good way to work on prying them out of the ground. Now, the root ball on them isn't very large, so I'm hoping this will work out perfectly for that. This tractor, my 2610, I had ordered it with the 66-inch bucket, and although it works great for moving loose dirt and leaves and using it as an overgrown wheelbarrow and such, you know, it's a lot of displacement on the cutting edge when you're trying to actually cut into the ground. So you end up with two issues. One, you can't cut into the ground as well, especially when the ground's really firm, because of the length of the cutting edge. You know, think about using like snowshoes versus standing on your hands, right? Like, you stand on your hand, you're going to sink into the snow. Snowshoe, you displace your weight. Well, the same thing works with the cutting edge. The other issue is now, instead of digging up an area a foot wide, now you've dug up 5.5 feet wide and made more of a mess. So I'm really hoping this will solve some of those issues. So now that it's unstrapped from the crate, we'll get the forks off and hook up to this thing, and we'll get a better look at it. Alright, so as you saw, that latched up pretty easily. Some of the kind of lesser quality quick attach plates, you can actually have some issues with the alignment as the wedges go in the top. You know, you might sometimes have trouble getting your pins to drop in the bottom, and that worked flawlessly. So that was off to a good start. So a little background on this Tomahawk bucket. I had never heard of Tomahawk brand. I saw a member of the CK2610 owners page on Facebook had actually purchased the same bucket. So I saw it, thought it was pretty appealing, searched the website. I realized so this is October of 2022. So the pricing at that time, this was $411. Now I had to pay shipping on that. We're upstate New York here, and the website says that they're built right in Indiana, and so the shipping from Indiana to here was $196, I think. You know, it came on a pallet, tractor trailer. Shipping weight was like 215 pounds. So I thought that was really reasonable, especially knowing it's a USA made product, and you know, it's just a touch over $600 for the whole thing delivered to the door. So one of the things I wanted to go over with this one is their website does show you a bunch of pictures of the bucket, but it doesn't actually do a great job of showing dimensions as far as the actual size of it. So one of the other competitors to this that I had recently looked at was on the palletforks.com site, which is Titan implements or Titan attachments. I can't remember which one. But anyways, they have a version. There's a couple things about that one I didn't like, but at least in their picture it shows you that it's 40.5 inches long or whatever. And this didn't go over dimensions. So what's one of the things I wanted to cover today? I wanted to put a tape measure on this, actually get some dimensions for your comparison. The other stump bucket, the only other stump bucket I've ever had experience with is an Artilian brand one. So my dad has a John Deere 2038R, and actually if you guys would like to see a comparison between those two, let me know, because it's something I've been thinking about doing in the near future. But he has the Artilian bucket for that, and that is not nearly as long. That one's only 24 inches long, but on that tractor it's a good fit. The Deere 2038R doesn't have nearly the amount of breakout force as the Coyote CK class does. So your breakout force is actually the amount of force that the bucket will curl. So because it's a shorter bucket, it actually gives it a little bit more leverage on the hydraulics, whereas this being so long, it'll actually take away from some of your hydraulic power. So on a tractor that has maybe a little bit less breakout force, the short bucket is a good thing. So let's go ahead and get a measurement on this. All right, so very similar to the Titan brand one. It's about 38 inches from the cutting edge, not the teeth, from the cutting edge to the back of the quick attach plate. For height, quick attach plate's about 17 inches tall. That's pretty standard just because of the dimensions of the actual quick attach unit itself. So you won't really see much variation there. Cutting edge on the front is 13.5 inches wide. The Artilian, for example, like they list on the website, that's 9 inches. So again, a little bit lighter tractor. That 9 inches will actually help it cut into the ground better, possibly, than this one. But again, this has a bunch more weight than the John Deere does, so I don't see where that'll be an issue. We've got the outer edge here. There's a separate piece with the teeth on it, and that is 3/8 plate. The rest of the unit appears to be quarter, possibly. Same thing down here. The cutting edge itself is 5/8 plate, and our teeth measure right in at 7/8 of an inch wide. They're not a replaceable tooth like a backhoe or mini excavator or whatever tooth would be, but being 7/8 plate, I don't see where I'll ever have an issue with it. The newer style Artilian stump buckets, they have a replaceable tooth edge on them. My dad's older one does not, and that's only 1/4 inch plate, and in the few years of using that, he's only managed to bend one tooth, and at 1/4 inch plate you can pretty much hammer it back straight. So I really have no concern about bending the 7/8 teeth, and so that should be pretty good. Another thing I wanted to go over real quick too is the weight of this unit. So the shipping weight was 215 pounds, obviously with the pallet included. It's listed on their website as 175 pounds. So again, you know, you can get excited buying this big, huge implement, but any of that weight takes away from your load or lift capacity. So, but at 175 pounds, it's still lighter than the actual bucket, the 66-inch bucket that came on the tractor. So I don't see where that's going to be any sort of an issue at all with it. All right, so now I just figured we'd give a nice close-up here of the unit itself. All the weld quality looks pretty decent. These gussets here, these are 3/16 plate. The quick attach unit itself appears to be 3/16 on the sides and possibly 5/16 thickness overall. There again, there's our Made in the USA tag. And yeah, you know, like I said, the teeth look pretty decent on here. You know, you've got a cutting edge that sticks out a little bit. But the serrations here too, I don't see where the serrations are probably super necessary. I don't see anybody really sawing through roots, you know, but they look reasonable. You know, some of the other ones, like the Titan one there, so sold on palletforks.com, that one, they seem to be very excessive, trying to mimic a saw blade more, and I guess I just don't see the need for it. The other thing with the Titan one too, it's open in the back. Maybe that would be beneficial for something. If you leave it outside, you don't have to worry about it storing water, I guess. But you know, this, you wouldn't have to actually worry about it leaking dirt out of the back. But yeah, like I said, overall, I'm pretty impressed with this. So I think it's time we go find some brush and try to bury it in the dirt and scrape some paint off from it. Okay, well, for the first stump we removed here, you know, I guess I don't really have any great way of measuring it, but took a couple tries, you know, and I think there's going to be some learning experience with it. I'm definitely glad it's not any larger or heavier like some of the other big skid steer ones, because then it would definitely reduce some of your rollback force. But like, you know, these smaller trees, bushes, whatever here, I mean, these came out first try effortlessly, you know, and you look at the size of the root here, and it really did pretty minimal damage to the ground. I mean, the whole only a couple inches deep. And I think once we get this whole area here kind of cleared out a little more and get access to some of the nice maples and stuff that are back here, and that cherry, you know, I'll be able to even run the land plane around and get everything graded back smooth. Now, I do think that the whole operation of using the stump bucket is going to work best when you've got two people. The stump bucket does a great job, obviously, of removing the trees, but you're still kind of stuck with them in your way. So what I think we're going to try to do this fall, before winter hits and as everything else is kind of dying off out here in the middle of some of the field area, we're going to have my dad's artillery grapple on his 2038R over here, and I can pluck stuff up out of the ground. He can grab a hold of it, set it in a pile, and we can make one nice big burn pile before winter and try to get rid of some of this brush. And at that point, I think it's going to make it a pretty quick operation for removing brush. So thanks again for tuning in. Please remember to like the video, share it to some of your friends, hit that subscribe button. We finally reached our 1,000 subscriber mark, which is a huge milestone for me. And you know, like I said, if there's anything else you guys want to see, please keep leaving comments. Let me know. I'm going to try to keep a little more frequent videos, and I definitely want to do more videos with the stump bucket. I'm going to do one for sure when I dig the trench from the house to the garage, and maybe I'll do just like a big when I do the work day out here with the grapple on the 2038R. You know, I can do a bunch of time-lapse videos then. That'll be good, because you know, we're gonna be out here for hours. No one wants to sit here and watch that. So but anyways, like I said, thanks again for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks.